Welcome to our team call, guys. Sorry that was a little bizarre and crazy, but I love Michael Jackson, and I definitely felt that. So obviously my whole entire family magnetically, is that a word? Magnetically rolled in here to dance, do a dance party. I'm going to share my screen real quick because I told you guys that I have a really big announcement about a team retreat. Now, since there are we usually have like 30, 40 people in here. Maybe it's because it's like post Laura's vacation, post Father's Day, post everyone probably had donuts and pot pie tonight, so you don't want to be on the team call. No judgment, no judgment. Okay. So anyways, so make sure that your team sees this, because we ain't gonna have time for slackers. We ain't gonna have time for people who skip out connecting. That's how we become a community. That's how we stay connected. That's how we stay motivated. That's how we continue the support, just like what we're doing with our challenge groups, with our coaches, and whatever. So I have a really big announcement, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So this fall, dun, 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 I'm hosting a team retreat. Now, I've hosted one of these before. Actually, I've hosted a lot of these before. But here's the trick. This time, I'm only bringing a little amount of people, okay? Because what I want to do is recognize that I am one human being, okay? So because I'm only one person, I really want to focus my attention and energy and effort into the top of our team. Now, you guys know that our team has grown tremendously. You guys know that we are hitting milestones, almost monthly in our business. But I do know that we have some older coaches and newer coaches who are still moving forward and who are still running forward to the goals that they have. So because of that, I wanted to honor everyone on the team and not just my personally sponsored coaches and open it up to anyone who qualified. So here are the qualifications. I am asking that the top coaches on Moxie join me in September in Florida at the beach with an all-expense, I say all-expense because some people have to pay something, but with an all-expense paid trip weekend with me and with top leaders and with other coaches who will pour into us. And it'll just be a wonderful weekend to submerge in wonderfulness because girl, we all need a break with life. If you have kids running around, you have husbands who are whiny, I get it. We all need a break. So come to the beach and hang out with me. So here are the details. If you are a team leader on the leadership ladder, and if you don't know what the leadership ladder is, that's okay, because we can tell you. But if you're a team leader, you're all paid. You can come, you're invited no matter what. If you're a team builder on the leadership ladder, then you can come and you are going to be able to pay $150. But for the whole entire weekend, for lodging, for food, that's incredible. That's an incredible deal. However, if between those two categories, I'm predicting that we're going to have way more than just 12 in those two categories. So the differentiator, the tiebreaker, is that if you're a team builder, okay, let's say you're a team builder and, in that column where on the leadership ladder where it calculates your weak leg volume, whoever has the highest amount of volume in that weak leg volume category, those are going to be the priority people who make it to the top 12. So it's team leader. You get a shoe-in no matter what. You're invited. I'm paying for everything to congratulate you on your hard work. And a team builder, you pay $150, and it'll be first come, first serve based on who has the highest volume. Another requirement, okay, is you have got to hit Success Club between now and then. So if you just heard me say that, that means you're responsible. If you sign up today, that means you are responsible. You need to hit Success Club between now and then. So it's June, July, August, and September. You can obviously hit it before then, but it's for those 3 months. Now, next month, if you have a coach who signs up and they're gunning after this and they want to be a part of our top 12 elite retreat, then they have to hit it in July and August. If they sign up in August and they want to qualify, they have to hit it in August. But every month that you're a coach and you're watching this and you find out about it, that means you're required to hit Success Club. Now, I told you, those are steep requirements, but I feel like people freak out so much about moving their business forward, and people freak out so much about hitting Success Club. All it is helping 3 to 5 new people a month. And if these products and solutions are helping you, then it's going to be a natural outpouring of you being able to help somebody else. So another shoe-in, if you're a diamond, okay, that means that you would be advancing into the team leader option because you have to be diamond and have a certain amount of volume in your organization. That deadline is August 3rd. But overall, I will announce the winners, I guess, like the top 12 on August 24th. So make sure that you hit Success Club before that date, in order to qualify to hit Success Club in June, July, and August. Because August 24th is when the top 12 coaches are going to be announced. and the retreat payment will be received. And I'm just so excited to spend a weekend with you guys. We're going to have Brittany Leggett there. We're going to have Craig Collier there, who's my corporate mentor. We're going to be partnering with another top team. So anyways, enough about that. But I'm excited. I'm honored to do life with you guys. I'm honored to spoil you that weekend. I'm honored to really open this up to everyone who's working hard, because you guys deserve it. I know that it doesn't matter whose upline is who. It doesn't matter who you signed up with, what's going on. What matters is that you run after your goals, and you're responsible for your own business, because we're all CEOs of our own business. So it's no one else's responsibility for you to hit your goals but yours, and this is a way that I want to reward you with that. If you're running after your goals, if you're taking responsibility and ownership of your business, then you can earn this top 12 trip. All right? Thumbs up if you guys are excited. All right, so it's anyone's ball game. If you're hungry for it, go for it. Anybody's ball game. And if you want to strategize with me or anyone else about how you can qualify, let's do it. Sweet. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing, and now I'm going to pass it over to the one and only Becka Robinson, because she is a fantastic, amazing friend of mine. She's a 13-star diamond coach. She is a mom. She just traveled the countries for 6 weeks in her renovated RV, which you guys should check out her blog. It's phenomenal. Even the Today Show thought so. She is just one of those people that you meet and you're like, oh, she really cares. Oh, she hugged me and it just felt so warm. And I just think Becka is so genuine from the inside out. And we're going to learn a lot from her tonight, just sharing about how to grow your business and how to even hit your goals without losing your mind. Amen. So, girl, I'm going to pass it over to you, all right? Thank you so much for being on the call tonight.
Yeah, thank you. Goodness gracious. You guys see me blushing over here? Thank you, Moxies, for having me. Always really exciting. So I'm actually just up the road from your Moxie World headquarters, because I live in Central Florida, so I'm just up I-4 from Laura. So it's really fun to get to talk to another team and just other coaches in the network and get to connect. I'm really honored that Laura asked me to talk to y'all. So we were just talking about different topics that would be cool, and I know that Laura is a mom and that there's a lot of moms on her team and people that, you know, have lots of things going on in their life where, you know, you're juggling family or your job and you're trying to build this coaching business. And it can be really challenging sometimes when you have these really big goals and you feel like you're literally losing your mind just in the process of trying to get to them. So I want to share with you guys today some of the things that have helped me, and hopefully some, you know, you'll grab a little nugget or two that you can try to help you as well. I'm a slides person, so I have some slides to share with you. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Don't judge me based on how cluttered my desktop is. All right. Can you guys see? Yeah? Give me a thumbs up. Cool. All right. So, like I said, I'm going to be talking about reaching your goals without losing your mind. And, I should have pulled it up ahead of time. I totally thought I could remember it, and I can't. But I don't know how many of you guys have read any books by or follow a writer named Danielle Laporte. She's one of my favorite people to follow, and she's a mentor. I did like a training with her a long time ago, and she had this quote that stuck with me. I interviewed her for a blog post like years and years back, and I asked her about how she finds balance, right? Because we always hear like you need to find the balance in your business and the balance in your life, and she said something to me that forever stuck with me and has shaped the way that I think about balance and trying to figure out where to be when it comes to pushing and working and time off and unplugging and all that kind of stuff. And she said, I wish I could remember exactly, but basically she said, I burn a lot of omelets. I always send birthday presents and cards late, but they're always the perfect gift. I eat breakfast at, lunchtime. I do this, I do that, but it's my life and I love it and I wouldn't have it any other way. And she basically said that there was no balance and she didn't believe in it. And it's kind of shaped to the way that I've thought about that ever since. And since then, I pretty much have abolished the idea of balance, because I think if you're a creative entrepreneur of any kind, whether you're a coach, whether you're starting your own bakery, whether you're a photographer, blogger, whatever it is, there's this like weird pressure to have this, I don't know, like utopian balance in your life that we're all striving for. And I really think that it's just perfectionism parading around in a mask and a different name, and we could get stuck in that trap forever. So I want to start this call by just saying that this call will not be about finding balance, because I really don't believe that it exists. Instead, I want you guys to start thinking about living well in the imbalance, because our whole life is not smooth. It's not perfect. It's not balanced ever. So why would coaching add balance to your life? It's just going to continue to throw things at you that you're not expecting. So it's not necessarily about finding that balance and killing yourself to try to do it, or letting your family fall to the side, or letting your business fall apart for the sake of this balance that nobody knows how to make exist, but rather learning what is a good spot for you to live in the midst of the imbalance, in that kind of happy middle place where you're fulfilled, where your business is growing, where your relationships are still good. So excuse me. To start off, we have to know what the priorities for our time are, because if we don't know what we care about, then how are we going to make sure that we're giving those things our right attention? So I want you guys to take out your phone and open a notepad, or just grab a piece of paper and a sticky note, and just for a second, think about what your big priorities are in your whole life, not just your coaching business. Like, what is important to you in your life right now, and also moving forward towards the future that you want to have because of building this business. So if you want to be home with your family, then maybe you would say something like, spending time with my family home together, even if that's not something you have a lot of time for right now, it can still be a priority. So this can be anything. It can be your marriage, it can be your children, it can be your family, it can be your future family, like getting ready for it. It can be your savings, your home, your business, your friends, things that you love to do, hobbies. It can be your faith. It can be travel. Whatever it is that you prioritize in your life, I want you to just pick your top 3 to 5 and write them down. These are the things that are kind of like, if everything else couldn't take any of your time, these are the things that would have to, because they're that important to you. And knowing these things are really important, and rank them from most important to not as important, because you need to know where your priorities are. So these are mine. So my priorities are my marriage and my family unit. So right now there's just 3 of us, my husband, myself, and my 4-year-old son. And then obviously like our parents and my sister-in-law, our extended family. That is my top priority. That is why I am here doing this business, other than numbers 2, 3, and 4, which are also part of my why. Why I'm doing this is to build a future for my family that is financially free, that is free of having to go to jobs, that's free of pressures of, having the income that we used to have instead of where we're going to. And then my next is my fitness journey. So this whole thing started for me because I needed to get healthy. And I know everyone comes into this at different places, but for me, that's where I started and where I'm at. And that's a huge part of my journey, because I'm on a continual process with that. I'm not at my after. I'm still in the process of learning and figuring it out and getting stronger every day. So that's my number 2. My number 3 is my business growth. And this is hard, because I know a lot of the times my family probably thinks that this is number 1 and my wellness journey is number 2 and they're number 3. But truthfully, in my heart, my business is the next. And my family and my health journey has to come first, because without those 2, my business couldn't exist. But it's still so important to me, because this business is what gives me the freedom to do all of the other things and to prioritize the other things the way that I can. And lastly is my friends, my hobbies, the kind of things that I do for me. So those relationships with the people that I really care about, my core group. And then also just doing the things that I love to do, like traveling and paddleboarding and exploring and that kind of thing. So those are my priorities for my life. Yours may look completely different. They may look the same. They may just be reorganized. It doesn't matter. There's really no wrong answer here. So you don't have to feel any pressure. But knowing these is super, super important for the rest of our call. Okay, so one of the things that my coaches, when they're struggling with this and when they're telling me, I think that I just need to pull back on my coaching business because I just don't have time. Like everything else in my life is going crazy and I don't have time to do this. And I think that I think that sometimes that is a very fair thing. Sometimes your life is just at a place where it needs to take priority, but the majority of the time we're wasting time and we can salvage it and use it to help our priorities remain our priorities. So what I like to do is I like to challenge people to audit their daily lives. And so I want to show this to you guys. This is something I do myself when I start to feel like out of control. I don't know if you guys ever get to that point sometimes where you just feel like everything's out of control. Like the dishes are piling up, you have no clean underwear to wear, somebody's mad at you for something that you didn't get done in time, your mom's left you like 3 voicemails, your husband is getting moody because you haven't spent enough time with him, your kids are going crazy, and you're just like, you're like at Success Club 2 and you're freaking out. We've all been there. We all get there over and over and over again in our life. So if you're feeling that, you're not alone. You're in the majority. And something that I like to do is I like to go, okay, Becca, like, are you really using your time well? Because we all have 24 hours in the day. Lindsay Matway, Bonnie Engel, Beyonce, like everybody, us, we all have the same amount of time to work with. It's how we use it and how we leverage it to our advantage that can help us to reach our goals and prioritize things well. So something that you can do, it's a great exercise, and I challenge you guys, if you're feeling this way, to look back at your day today when we're done with this call and very honestly do an audit, just like you would write a food journal of every single bite of food and sip of drink that goes in your mouth. You have to do your time the same way. So you have to look at your day and you have to go, okay, what did I spend time on? 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, just like you may not think that that's taking a lot of your time, but when that adds up over a week, that is hours you could be spending towards one of your top priorities instead of wasting it away. In the same way that our challengers sometimes will be snacking and taking little bites of their kids' food or their husband's food or whatever, and then wondering why their progress is stalled out. Well, because those calories all add up. It's the same idea here. The minutes and the seconds all add up to hours, and those hours add up to days, and those days add up to weeks that we can be spending on the things that are really important to us. So here's some things, for example, that I spend time on in a day, just to give you guys an example of what a list would look like. So just write everything out free form, like you don't have to put it in any sort of order. You just write down the things that you did that day. So here's some things: cleaning, chores, watching TV, browsing the Facebook newsfeed, and I could edit that now to also add in Instagram and Snapchat and reading blogs, time spent playing with my kids, quality time with my husband, projects that I'm working on. So for my life, like I spent like 6 hours the other day reorganizing this workout room that I'm sitting in, or projects for my business. Meal prepping and planning our food, sleeping, working out, online shopping, organizing and reorganizing things, communicating or commuting back and forth, time spent in my car, things that I do as hobbies, meeting with friends, my coaching business, time spent just browsing on Pinterest, pinning things on Pinterest. If you have a day job that you go to, that is obviously included. Watching shows on Netflix, and then going out. So here's a whole bunch of different things that could be taking up time in your day. And then you need to look at it, and you need to look at it with like razor sharp focus and say, where can I trim the fat? Some things are worth our time, some things are forced time, and some things are wastes of time. And this can evolve and change all the time. So just because you trim some fat now doesn't mean that that's how your life is always going to be. We can shift these things all the time. So you may be in a stage of your life where your kids really need a lot of quality time with you, but that may change in the future as they become more independent. Or you may be in a time in your life where you have a lot going on in your personal life. Like recently, Laura was moving. Like that obviously takes a lot of time, packing up boxes and all that stuff. So her daily life audit may have shifted a little bit from now that she's more settled in and she's not having to pack up everything she owns into boxes. So these things shift. But for right now, take a look at it and go, where can I trim the fat? So I showed you where I could trim the fat in my day. So here's the things that I'm wasting time with, right? Watching TV, waste of time. I love TV. I love me some Game of Thrones. I love catching up on seasons of shows on Netflix as much as the next person. In fact, binge watching shows on Netflix in my bed is one of my top favorite things to do. Like, when people ask me, what are your favorite things to do? Like, what do you like to do for fun? It's binge watching seasons of TV in my bed in Netflix. But that doesn't help me to reach my goals. That doesn't help fuel my why. That doesn't help me to accomplish any of these priorities. Watching Netflix doesn't help me with my marriage, my wellness journey, my business, or my friends and hobbies, other than I could maybe try and say that that's a hobby, but it would be a lie. So that one has to get cut out. Browsing the Facebook newsfeed is another one. I wasted so much time. I did a time audit for a week, and it was like hours of time that added up to browsing my Facebook newsfeed. And you can say that this is for your business. You can say that it's for your connections. But at the end of the day, we waste tons of time doing that. So I downloaded an app called Kill the Newsfeed for Chrome. If you use Chrome as your browser, you can get this on your computer, and it's changed my life. I'll show you exactly what it looks like when I go to Facebook. This is what it looks like. And that is pretty much done loading. So this is how I run my entire business and my entire life now. Is I have no news feed here to scroll. So when I go to Facebook, I can go to all my groups. I can update all my groups. I can check my messages and my notifications. And then I'm done, and I'm not distracted by the news feed. So that was a huge one for me. And if you guys get distracted by that, then I would say give that a try. You can always still scroll your newsfeed on your phone if you really need to catch up with people, but you can also put all of your coaches or your prospects in friend lists and then just go and check in on them instead of getting lost in the newsfeed. Okay, some other things were reading blogs. So I love to just read blogs, almost like, you know, reading a magazine when you're laying out by the pool, but that does end up taking a lot of my time because I kind of get stuck in these rabbit holes of hopping from one to the other and topic to topic. Same with online shopping. I can research yoga pants till the cows come home and new workout shoes and stuff for our house and stuff for our RV, but that does take up a ton of time. So I like to trim the fat there unless I have an excess amount of time. This next one, for any of you Emerald personalities on the GEM test, you may be guilty of this, organizing and reorganizing, especially when it comes to your business. A lot of my coaches who are Emerald waste tons of time creating systems and then recreating systems to more effectively run their business, but they're really just being ineffective because all they're doing is spending their time recreating things that they don't need to spend time on. So if it needs to be organized, organize it, but then let it be. Like, don't just keep trying to do it over and over again, because that's a really simple way where you can trim the fat. Pinterest, Netflix, just going out. These are things that can trim the fat. Like, yes, that time is important sometimes, but every now and then you do have to trim. Okay, and then these things with question marks are forced time. So these are things that I have to do a lot of the time, like time in the car, sleeping, cleaning my house, doing chores, working on projects, and hobbies, because hobbies was one of my priorities, right? So those are forced time, things that are gonna take my time no matter what. But how can I maximize those? So can I listen to personal development in the car? Can I respond via voice message while I'm doing chores to messages? Can I put little earbuds in while I'm doing laundry or washing the dishes? Those kind of things. Can I make sure that I don't just scroll my phone while I'm trying to fall asleep, so I can actually fall asleep at a better time, so I can wake up and get stuff done right away instead of hitting snooze a million times? Where can you trim the fat? There's always, always time to be found. Ooh, my sides won't go. Come on. Hang on one second. Ooh. Oh, goodness gracious. There we go. All right, next is keep things simple. So I know that you guys have probably already heard this, so I'll go quickly through this slide, but it's really important, so I didn't want to skip it. In this business, everything is already created and given to you, and so you don't need to recreate stuff. You don't need to recreate the wheel. You don't need to content create. All you need to do is put your own voice and spin on it. Oh, goodness. All you need to do is put your own voice and spin on it. So all of that stuff is available. You have your Moxie team page. You have the Coach Online Office. Remember that done is better than perfect, and just follow the path that the leaders have already set for you. All right. Build your business no excuses list. So this is kind of like your priorities list, but it's for your business. So your list may evolve over time as your goals change and grow, but this is a really great exercise. So this is mine. My no excuses in my business list mean the things that are going to happen for me that I'm going to make happen. I'm just not going to let go by a month without it happening. So this is mine. Success Club, personal development, my workouts, running a challenge group every month, participating in trainings to make myself a better leader, rank advancing, growing my income, and then qualifying for X, Y, and Z, whatever my goals are at that time. Now, during push times, obviously that may adjust and your list may change, but you need to know what your priorities are, just like you need in your business, just like you need to know in your personal life, so that you can allocate your time the right way. So when we get off of this call, this can be a good little exercise for you, because everyone's at different stages in their business. Obviously, some of these should look the same for everyone: Success Club, personal development, challenge groups, workouts, but the rest of yours may shift. Okay, this is a huge one for me, asking for help. And I know that this can be really difficult for a lot of us for some reason, because we don't want to admit failure by saying that we need help. But here's how you can ask for help in a way that's really constructive. And this is what works for me, and hopefully it works for you. So during really important times, and this is not an all the time thing. This is for like when you're trying to hit Success Club at the end of the month, when you're trying to hit Diamond, you're doing that big push before Summit or whatever your date is, when you're really trying to make an income goal, or maybe you're pushing for Elite or Premier and you need to dial in. Maybe you're in Star Diamond qualification. You've got 6 weeks to lock it in and you have to be on your A game. So this is what I do. I go to my family. For me, it's my husband and my mom and my son, actually. And so for you, it's whoever, is around you, living with you, helping you. And I am very open with them. I say, this is my goal and this is the time I'm going to need to accomplish it. So let's say I'm trying to hit Diamond before Summit. Summit is in a month. So I've got, 1 month to lock this in. And you have to give them an end date, because when you're asking people to kind of do extra to help you, you got to give them a light at the end of the tunnel. So many times our spouses and families can feel like they get put on the back burner for our business goals, and that just breeds resentment, and that's no good, because that just creates issues in your personal life that then can create issues in your business, and nobody wants that. So give them an end date, and then ask them to support you in it. Say, could you put our son to bed a couple nights a week so I could get on calls, or I could get on one-on-ones with my coaches to help them, or could you do this extra little bit of work for me so I can have a little bit of extra time? Whatever it is, ask them to support you. And then when you hit your goal, make it a family celebration. So this picture is when I hit one of my big rank advancement goals, or maybe it was a volume goal. I think it was a volume goal. And we all went out to my son's favorite dinosaur-themed restaurant in the Disney area, because he's obsessed with dinos. He was so great for me when I was pushing for that goal. He had to, spend more time with Dad than Mom, because I was really dialed in on being there for my coaches that were a part of the goal that I was trying to hit. And he had to, deal with me being a little bit more plugged into my phone and my computer for an amount of time. He was a trooper, and so was my husband. And so we needed to make it a family celebration so that everybody could feel like they were a part of this goal, because they really were. No man is an island. We do it together. And then never underestimate the power of affection. Let them know that you're still there. So when you're in the midst of these goals and you're so dialed in, try to remember every now and then to kind of detach for a second and be like, I know that you're here. I appreciate so much what you're doing for me. I see you. I love you. Thank you so much. Like, we're going to do this together. It's going to be awesome. So here is, here's an example of what I did when I was talking to my son about this. I said, if you can help Mommy get to this big goal, we're all going to go out for a family dinner at the Dino Place. I just need you to be quiet and play on your own this afternoon. Deal? And he was like, yeah, Dino restaurant, I can get behind that. And he went and he played with his toys, and my husband kind of took the lead on him. And then lastly, and the most important, is honor your word. So whatever it was that you said, whatever your end date, you have to honor it. This can't be a perpetual thing. If you miss your goal and you want to kind of start over, you've got to take a break in between and kind of get back to normal and really thank them for the time that they helped you, because if it's kind of this forever thing, they're just going to feel like you're taking advantage, and that's no good. So honor whatever it was. But this is a really great system for enlisting help. Okay, what to do if you don't have help? Maybe you're a single mom. Maybe you don't have a spouse. Maybe you don't have family around helping you. or maybe they're just unsupportive. And so you have to do all these things on your own. Here are 2 of the main things that help. Have a dedicated power hour or dedicated power chunks. If you can't do an hour, if you can do little 20-minute chunks through your day. And, you know, you may just have to sacrifice a little bit, get up a little bit earlier, or take that time away and be really plugged in. Some of the coaches that successfully did this were Melanie Mitro and Morgan Rieger. Melanie built this business when her husband was unsupportive, so she had to wake up before her whole family got up to do her business things before she shifted into mom mode. Morgan Rieger was working a full-time job as a teacher, and so she just kind of had to make it work outside of her normal job. Next, find the cracks. Find those small little bits of time in your day and use them to get key tasks done. Coaches who are really good at this, if you want to look them up and follow them, are Anita Miron and Michael Folsom, because they have kids that are around them all the time. If you have kids around you all the time, you know that as soon as you pick up your phone, they want your attention for something. Or as soon as you go to make a voice message, they start screaming about something. So you have to find the little cracks. I will not be ashamed to tell you that I send people messages back from the bathroom a lot, especially when I'm alone with my son. If I have to go pee, someone's getting a message back from me that was waiting. It's just how it works. But it works for me. It works for my business. And that way I don't have to be stressed out that people are, you know, that I'm not going to make a challenge pack sale because someone had to wait too long, and I'm not having to sacrifice time with my son. Okay, at the very last, this is my last slide, I think. Lastly, when all else fails, so say you tried all these things, you've tried to find the extra time, you tried to enlist family support, you've tried to do the power, you've tried to find the cracks, and it's just not working, you're still losing your mind. Here are some 911 steps that you can follow. First, take a deep breath, because everything's gonna be okay, you're gonna get through it, and remember that everybody has these moments. When you're in it, it can feel so isolating, like you're the only person struggling, but it's not true. So here's what I do. Number 1, I step away from my computer and phone. Your business will not fall apart as long as you don't step away for a really long amount of time, like weeks and months. Step away. Take a couple hours off. Take a day off. Take a weekend off from the business if you need to. Just step away and just remember that there are more things in life than the struggle that you're doing right now. Then when you come back, put on your blinders. Do not compare yourself to anybody else's business. Your business is your own. Your goals are your own. So it can be so hard as a coach to not look around at what everybody else is doing, but you have to do it. It's the only way that you'll get through without the emotional turmoil of always feeling like you're not good enough. Go back to the vitals. Make sure you do your 3 vitals every single day. Every single day. Write them down if you need to. Find an accountability buddy or a group and, you know, post your vitals to them every day if you need to. But those are so clutch to this business. It can feel a little redundant after time, but it's so important. And lastly, redo your audit and your no excuses list and make necessary adjustments. So that always changes and that always shifts. Hopefully you guys, I think I'm down to a minute. Hopefully you guys found a nugget that helped you in here. This has helped me so much. But my main message is, if you're feeling this way, you feel like you're losing your mind, just know that you're not alone. It's so normal and you can absolutely get through it and push through it. The biggest thing is just to not get frazzled and give up. I have complete faith in you. You guys are amazing, and thank you so much for having me.
On the money. Boom. like a racehorse. She's like, go, 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 go. That was golden. Guys, I love that. I screenshot your stuff, girl, so I'm going to steal it. I'm going to post it in the team page. Thank you so much. I have notes here, like golden quotes that I'm going to frame in my life. Thank you again so much, guys, for joining on. Make sure that you share the recording with your teams. Make sure that you share some love and thank Becka on her page. And everything else that you need to know will be on our team page with a call to action from the team comp. All right. Thanks, guys, so much. Thanks, Becka. Y'all have a great night.